Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order of the Greater Pharr Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors meeting. It is 12:01, and we will start this meeting with roll call and possible action on excusing any absent board member. Roll call, please.
Mario Liscano,
Present.
Alex Rios,
Here.
Sonia Falcon,
Here.
Alma Caso,
Here.
Johnny Rodriguez,
Here.
Lisa Ann McAlpine,
Here.
Ernesto Sepúlveda,
Present.
Jose Delgado, Dr. Annabelle Palomo,
Present.
Laura Warren,
Present.
Patricia Rickney, Analia Lanis.
We have Mr. Delgado who is out of town, so at this time, do I hear a motion to excuse our absent board member?
So move.
There's a motion by Mr. Rios. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Warren. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, it passes. We have excused Mr. Delgado. Next, we'll move on to organizational business, and we'll start with the approval of the minutes that's provided to you prior to this meeting. Do I hear a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
Can I make a motion?
There's a motion by Ms. Caso. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Palomo to accept the approval of the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Minutes have passed. We will now go on to the Treasurer's Report of Account Summary.
Good afternoon, Board. There was a couple of questions that I had on the balance sheet statement, and so I called Yasmin at the accounting office, and what she explained to me, there was an item under assets. It's called claim on cash, and it shows a negative 18,108. What she explained to me is that this is money that's owed to the city. It's a reimbursement, so for several things. I guess the city pays and then the chamber reimburses, so that's what that was for. The next item was on the liability under escrow golf tournament. I wasn't sure what that was. It was a carryover balance, and Yasmin told me she was going to check with Carla because I think that's been carried from previous years so that they could zero that out to see what it was related to. I think it was probably one of our Winter Texan golf tournaments, but it wasn't from recent years, so she was going to look into clearing that out because it just appeared. Those were the only two things, and so other than that, I'll need a motion to accept the.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Sonia, for always making sure that we are on top with our Treasury report. Any questions that we do have, I appreciate your extra time in following up with City Finance and Accounting Department.
Mr. Liscano.
Yes,
Chairman,
ma'am.
I do have a comment regarding the Treasurer's report and our budget. Right now, the city is going through budget season, so we're getting ready for the next fiscal year coming up in October, and so we're also part of that process. And so right now, we're meeting with the Finance Department, and I actually have a meeting with Ms. Carla, the finance director, next week to go over our budget and see if we have to, restructure any of our accounts. I know that in the past, our accounting had been, I guess, following a very generic format, but now that we're back in operations and we've been in operations for a year and a half, close to 2 years, I think we now know what we need and how we need to do our accounting, and so we're working closely with them to come up with the correct account so that we can follow a more structured process. And so I'll have a meeting with her next week, and we are going to touch on those topics. So I'll have an update for you for next board meeting.
Excellent.
Also to discuss the salary for the administrative assistant, right?
Correct. We are looking at an increase for the chamber specialist position. We do have it within budget, so it's just a matter of restructuring and following due process for that.
Excellent. Any other questions, any other comments? If no questions or comments, do I hear a motion to accept the Treasury report as presented?
So moved.
There's a motion by Mrs. Warren. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Rios. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The Treasury report's been accepted. Now we will go on to activities and announcements with our President's Administrative Report.
Right, good afternoon. I'm going to actually hand the stand over to Ms. Eloina Gonzalez. She's our membership manager, so she's going to provide a brief update on our memberships report.
Good afternoon, Board. So for members, as of August, we have a total of 75. Our new members from July carried on over to August. We gained 7 new members, and for new members as of June, we have 3. So total of 75. We're working really hard to get new members. Part of the chamber that's never been part of the chamber before. So I did attend to ACCE convention, and I will talk about it more further into this PowerPoint to, let you guys know the highlights and what I learned for the convention that I can go ahead and attain to, bring on more members for the chamber. Thank you.
I see you have several new corporate members. Congratulations.
And so as you can see, we did work really hard in July to bring that number up. In June, we only had about 3 new members. I think that this also has to do with the fact that, everybody was out of school. It was a fresh month. People are out of town. But we were able to pick it back up in the month of July to go up to 7 new members. And that brings us to a total of 75.
And on the, do they pay? Are you collecting also, or is it just they committed to doing it? And
No, they have paid, and they've
so
committed.
all of them are paid
Yes,
members.
of course.
Got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Aloina, I did have a question. What do we have, and I know we've spoken about this several times, is there a plan for how we're rolling out, how we're reaching out to our members? Do we have a schedule for you for that, or are we just reaching out as they're popping out, or with the city permit? How are we getting these new members?
So we do get a CO list report, and we do cold call. We reach out to the new businesses, and we try to get them on board with the chamber and offer these resources that the chamber has to offer. I do have a goal of getting, we've been seeing that it's from 5 to 10 members each month. So my goal since I started has been, at least 8 to 10 members every month. It has been increasing, and I've been seeing some changes because we did start with about 60, 65 members. So
Have we lost any?
we have lost
have there not-
those that were part of the chamber before I started. I tried to build those relationships with them, but COVID hit them. They don't have their businesses anymore. They went a different route, so we did lose them. Some businesses did close because of COVID. Mm-hmm.
And with the new members you're getting, what do you see as the biggest incentive? What is it that they like the most? What
It's
signs
all
them
about
up?
the networking. They really love the networking opportunities that we're offering for them at the end of every month. We're trying to implement a networking event for the businesses who need help. And they really like that. I think it's a benefit for them. They've been taking advantage of it, and they've been, meeting other business partners within those networking opportunities.
One of the things that I would recommend that you add to the package is maybe a small clip of a commercial that we've already done for one of your ribbon cuttings. I happen to smile when I see them because I'm a small business owner, and any marketing that I get from my business is good. And coming from an organization, a fine organization like this one, I think that we should take advantage of using that video clip, 30 seconds to a minute, to make it a selling point to these new members, these new businesses. Because again, I'm thinking small business. Well, what are you gonna do for me? You're gonna do ribbon cutting, but what else? So maybe by showing them that, they get to see that excitement of the families there, the hors d'oeuvres, to just the ambiance that it provides for you. So a small suggestion. I think those videos really work.
Thank you. We'll definitely try to implement that.
I totally agree with Alex. I know I've seen others that do like a, welcome our new member, and then they'll have a picture of them with a plaque, something that maybe we can post on our social media.
Yeah, of course. Yes, we're working on that. Also, member spotlight. So the business of the month. According to the participation and what they have to offer. Yeah.
But what about our retention? Like, what are we doing for businesses that have already been with us? Once you have to renew with them, do you see like some doubts, or are they renewing pretty confidently?
For the most part, they have been renewing confidently. Like I said, half of them did close because of COVID. But I've been reaching out to them, trying to build that relationship. Hey, I'm new to the chamber. This is what my relationship to them. What do you need? What other resources do you need? How can I help you? I always ask them, how can I help you so that I can deliver? For the most part, they were already members way before me, and I try to see what the chamber hasn't delivered to them so I can deliver, and that way they can, jump on board with us the following year.
So I think what I'm hearing is maybe get a schedule going about, the corporate sponsors that you're going out to visit them, once a month or, once every 2 months, whatever the schedule may be, but that there's outreach from us to them, right? Instead of them to us, right? Now that we have you full time, right? And then ask them for leads on the next business, right? But you need to be out there, right? Not just, hey, it's time to renew. Well, you have to.
No,
it's
yes.
easier to get a check when they remember what you did for them
Correct.
and when you were last there, right?
I think
Yes.
one of the recommendations also is contacting our EDC. I'm sure they have a huge listing of all the companies that are in the city of Pharr, and that might assist you also,
Yeah, definitely.
in building the membership, I think.
And then I'll end with this for me. Ambassadors, you cannot do everything by yourself. It's just a lot of work. I've seen it. I know what it is. Ambassadors, start utilizing your ambassadors for every new company you're calling. Right there, pitch it into them that they have an opportunity to send someone from their company to represent them, and those are your ambassadors. So those ambassadors are the ones that are going to help you to put these things together, to put these scheduling together, because they can help you send that outreach out. So if you need any of my help, I'm here to assist.
Thank you.
And as you all know, we did work on this during our strategy workshop, and that was important, but I think that those that missed it, we need to have a secondary meeting where we'd include membership. I know you're going to be talking about the ambassador's point system that we're returning back to us, and those things were important that we discussed. So I think that maybe we need to do a membership committee that we can go ahead and discuss this further, because I know that during the workshop, we were able to bring in some new ideas to the table, and that way we can discuss more on what our focus is going to be.
And so maybe you can work on for the next meeting, what your plan is for corporate level sponsors, gold, silver. Like, this is the outreach that we're going to do. I
Okay.
think that's important for us to understand.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Chairman. Yes, I think it would be important to have a follow-up meeting just to reinforce the ideas and topics that we spoke about in the strategic planning workshop. I know a few of y'all weren't able to make it. So yeah, just to be on the same page and so that we can have a concrete plan moving forward. So now moving on, current projects and initiatives. Right now, we're still continuing to increase our social media presence. It's very important for us to keep being active. As one of your questions to Eloina was, what is one of the things that the members wish to see or one of the benefits that they like? I think it's for them, or the feedback that we have received is that they require a lot of exposure and visibility. They might not have large social media pages, or they might not know where to start, where to go. So we want to be that avenues. We want to promote their businesses, any specials that they have going on, any new workshops that they're working on, or any new products that they're launching, depending on the business. So we want to have our social media pages have a wide reach so that we can help them out. And so we have to work internally on that first so that then we can deliver in a better way to them. And so right now we're working on a lot of content on posting on social media consistently and really looking at the statistics of when most of our audience is active on social media. So you can look up algorithms and see which times are best for the most amount of reach, or when we look at our target audiences. So most of our audience is women from 25 to 45 years old or 55 years old. So that is our main target audience based on our data on the algorithm. However, we do have other groups, age groups that follow us and that interact with us. So it's important for us to look at that information and try to deliver content that will cater to those audiences, and then tap into the other audiences that we haven't tapped into yet. Right now, we're still just working on posting regularly, posting consistently, and on time. Right, we want to be able to engage with the community, engage with our audience, and you have fun posts that are engage worthy, I guess, not just information or random articles, and no, everything has to have a purpose. So that's what we're trying to focus on now. As you can see with the image on the screen, just in the last week, we have definitely had a large Facebook reach. So we reached up to 16,000 people. For Instagram, we reached up to 368 people just in the last week. That's a huge difference from the beginning of the year when we were reaching 25 people, up to maybe 100 people. That was our biggest reach. So right now we're a lot more active. We're reaching a lot more people. And then for audience growth, we had 40 new page likes in the past week for Facebook, and then 7 new followers just in the last week for Instagram. So we're getting there. One of our goals for Instagram, which is one of our hardest social platforms to grow, is to reach 500 followers. From there, we would go to 1,000, but for now, it's 500 within the next 6 months. We're at 375, and we were at, I believe, 280 around there back in the beginning of the year. So I think we're in a positive trajectory, and I'm sure we'll reach the 500 followers by
So do you know
next
if
6 months.
all of our members have liked us, at least our members?
Most of our members have liked us. If not, they interact with our pages a lot, but it's just a matter of, having them press that like button or that page
So
page
can you go
like for
back and
Facebook.
check that, Eloina, and then if they haven't, that's an opportunity for you to reach out and then ask them to do it. Because they should all be liked. Like when you go and get the thing signed and pick up the check, have them like us there, right? Because that's
Yeah.
important. It allows them to be seen also, right, in the media, social media.
Definitely, yeah,
I've
that's a
seen
great
the media
idea.
presence, and congratulations. I see huge difference since you took this over. The numbers are great. 16,000 new people. It's a good reach. Hashtags. I use that a lot, and I see a great number of. It's a big difference when you use hashtags a lot. So, as a suggestion to use support small business, or even those hashtags can get you some increase of views as well.
Mhm.
Marcella,
Thank you.
quick
Definitely,
question,
yes.
just so I understand the statistics correctly. So when you're saying in terms of reach, 16,000, is that new, or is that how many we actually reached or saw our page last week?
So reach is how many eyes were on our page. It doesn't necessarily mean engagement, so it doesn't mean that they clicked on our page, they went through it, they clicked on our tabs.
They
It just
saw
means that it reached them, it saw them. So it's counting different IP addresses, different people that landed on our post and that saw our
So
post.
they're not new posts, they're just people that saw one of our posts.
Correct.
As
And
well as-
so
It usually happens after like an event because they promote a lot of pictures. So if somebody saw themselves on a picture, well, they tag so-and-so because they're on that picture, and so-and-so comments. Those are all viral hits. Like somebody saw your post.
Right, I just want to make sure that, the difference between somebody that just saw it or new people that are seeing it.
Again, it could happen many ways. It could be that they
multiple.
just.
It could be one person seeing it 5 times because it's total last week. And so I could have seen something from the chamber 5 times, and that would still add up in that number. It's not unique
Okay.
viewers. It's
And that reach
And it's-
means people that don't even like the page either. It could be people
Yeah.
that are just looking at it. They're not
Correct.
even liking the
on your
page yet.
search, something pops up, the chamber, and you just.
And I think this number is very important because there's a lot of value in just reaching maybe a different audience or tapping into a different audience, somebody that might not even be from Pharr or that doesn't know the chamber. But once they see our posts or they see an image that they like from the chamber, then they're more likely to come back to the chamber page and click through our events or our posts or engage with our content. So
Right. Well, that, and you get to see firsthand data as to what was popular. Well, let's say this past event was popular, so they saw an increase. Well, this other event wasn't so hot. So now she's got data to say, hey, these kind of events are the ones that are causing all the people to view this, meaning there's liking, there's interest, there's some type of connection between the Facebook page and themselves.
So it
Thank
really
you.
helps us moving forward. And yeah, it's important for me and for us as an organization just to reach as many people, to get in front of the eyes of as many people as possible. Because then from there we can move on and have an action plan as to how to, we can segment our different audiences and see which events work for different target groups. And so, once again, it's just another representation of page visits this is a monthly. Instead of just last week, this is for the entire month. We went up 18%, so all our numbers are green. We continue to grow every single month. This is in page visits. So this isn't just reach, as you were inquiring about. This is actual page visits, so people that went into our page and clicked on our page to see our content. So it went up, 823. So those are individual page visit clicks. And then for Instagram profile visits, this means that people actually went into our profile and not just saw a post as they were scrolling through. They actually went into our profile to see our content. So it was 278 for Instagram. And also moving on, we continue to work on our member communications. I know this was something that we really wanted to tap into. We have been wanting to remain consistent with this. It's very important for us to remain in constant communication with our members. So we continue to send them reminders for all of our events, monthly reminders. We send our email blast, and not only to our members, but also to the individuals that request to be added to our newsletter, and to receive events and updates or information regarding the chamber. So we continue to send those emails and our monthly roundup. So this is just one of the examples of our communication efforts with our members. This newsletter goes out at the beginning of every month, and it's just a recap of everything that we did or that we were involved with during the past month prior to this newsletter.
Do we have members that, for example, if Dr. Paloma's having an event at her school, that she can send it to the chambers and say, hey, can you post this on your website? Who does that go to?
We don't currently have that right now, but we are working on an email to start including our members' information on our newsletter, our monthly newsletter. So we're working on that campaign. It's still in the works. We haven't sent it out, but as of now, we haven't included it.
What
No.
about our website?
Not our website either.
Okay, I think that's very important.
We have a back-to-school drive next week that would have been awesome for us to, for kids to go pick up school supplies from our students that we give back to the community. That would be nice.
One of the
to
things,
have.
one of the things that you can do to kind of answer that is you can offer the membership package as an email blast 2 or 3 a year to promote, for example, an event for them. So you can do, hey, with this membership, with the corporate, you can email blast unlimited. With the silver, you can post 3 times a year, and it's an email blast to all, which is what she's saying, to email everybody. So maybe just moving forward, you can add that to your membership.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
What we can do on that specific one for Dr. Palomo, and also just to make sure that it goes across the board, is we can just put a post on behalf of the chamber, and that post will come out today. And that way it has a few days until next week that we will be able to have people, if everybody continues here, will share it, then, that message is going to go out there. So, that's a quick resolution for it. You know what Alex is saying, to include it to our members, but also to do something like this for our businesses that are partners, so that we can provide that announcement of that whatever is coming up.
And just going back to a comment earlier about a membership committee, I think it would be very beneficial. All these ideas are excellent, and it's great things that we can definitely implement, which we're already doing in a way, but really elevating our benefits would do wonders to our membership base. So maybe moving forward, we can create that membership committee and meet to come together and
I
bring
think
those
that,
ideas to
a
the table.
fine example is our events committee, that the
Mhm.
people that are in there are very helpful because they are planning on what's coming up and what we need to do. So if we can go ahead and have a membership, we'll send out an email. Anyone interested in being part of that, can have a separate meeting, and we can go ahead and give a report at this meeting.
Correct.
We've gone over that at a meeting, a strategic meeting. I don't know if it was this one and the last one, where what each membership consisted of. And I know that we included these blasts,
Ambassador.
right? But I guess you're saying we don't have the capacity electronically to do that? Is that what you're saying? Or am I
No, we
confused?
do. We
Okay.
do have the capacity. I think right now, so I guess to touch a little bit more on that specific topic is we're continuously working to implement our CC Assist program. So it's our membership management program. That program is implemented into the website that we already have. And that program in itself has an email blast capability. So it is a really long process to be able to get all of our membership database and information into that software, and then for it to be implemented into our website. So our IT department here with the City of Pharr, they have to work closely with the CC Assist IT department so that they can implement that. So it's been a journey to get that implemented. So right now we're using a program to do these email blasts that is not as efficient as the one that we have already acquired, but we're in the process of implementing finally. So
And when do you think that will conclude? When will it be finished?
no less than a month and a half, 2 more months. So by next fiscal year, we should already be up and running with the new software. But all of these ideas are really important and really great, and these are things that we are going to do once we have our software and we can do email blast with all of our members within that database. So right now we're doing things manually, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so I guess moving forward, speaking about regarding the events committee, we did have a meeting last week for, to focus or to talk about our programming for next year. I think the main goal was to come up with an efficient programming calendar to really go back to basics and the core foundation of the chamber, which is fundraising and being able to continue operations. And so rather than maybe dedicating a lot of time to community events, have a more balanced calendar, a programming calendar of events where we do fundraising and we also do community events. And so 3 of the events that we decided would be very beneficial for the chamber and that we decided to keep and move forward with were this is a new one. It's the avocado loteria or the veggie bingo. So this goes hand in hand with something that we've previously spoken about, which is the produce expo or the avocado fest that we have been talking about. This would be an event within the time period that the Pharr International Bridge has their start of the produce season. So start of the produce season is the first Thursday of every October. So this year would be October 6th. That's when the produce season begins. And so the Pharr International Bridge does a kickoff event. It's a very nice ceremony, and we want to be a part of it. And so we want to implement an event after the morning portion of the bridge. After their kickoff event, we want to do an avocado loteria. So kind of a fun in the evening, yes, around 7 p.m. So it'll be tied into the start of the produce season, but it will be in the evening. And so yeah, this will be a loteria. It's just an event, fundraising event for the chamber where we can play bingo or loteria and just have a good time. So it would be a ticketed event. We would host it at the Pepsalinas Recreation Center, and then this will be a great way to introduce our idea of an avocado fest for next year.
And I brought you something, a little gift.
Oh, that's amazing!
It's your avocado cosmetic case. So every morning when you put on your makeup, you're gonna think avocados.
October 6th.
That's too cute.
That's how
Awesome. I love it.
popular avocados are, right?
I know.
Everybody loves avocados and they're so
Yeah.
trendy with.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah.
So
I saw that I had to get her.
Marcela, one of the
great inspiration.
one of the things that I was thinking about, because I do feel that this event can take us to another level, is to partner up with somebody in Mexico who does send out the avocados to be our main sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are the ones that are essentially providing that product to US. So if maybe we can reach out to any of our resources. I know the mayor just had a meeting out there in Monterrey, I believe it was, and tap into them and see who's, so that we're not digging into Bert Ogden's pockets anymore, or our, our RGB College, all these people who are just their own pocket. Maybe look at Mexico for partnerships for this event. If they give us $10,000, that's a great way to start this fundraiser.
Definitely.
Even Costco. Costco is part of our member, right? Are they members?
Costco, no.
They're not yet.
No, they're
So
a
we-
corporate level that will not live.
They won't help.
We did not secure the renewal.
Well, I know that we're developing that flyer where you do have those different levels of sponsors for even for the loteria, so hopefully it's our
we're-
first annual, guys, so if everybody can help out with that.
We were trying to get creative. And
Yeah.
Prizes.
Where are we going to look for because we talked about like creating our very own
Personalized.
cards.
Mm-hmm.
Did we come up with a person or like a company that would do them?
They are
We can do
companies
like a
that do
graphic
it.
designer.
Okay.
or
And
so.
the ones who did Team Mario's, like
Mhm.
that was pretty good. Like
Yeah.
they only had
Okay.
one winner in the whole room. Like that's pretty amazing.
Ah.
Or two winners at the most, and then they battle it out. But there weren't a lot of repeat cards. That's what I liked
Okay.
about it. So there are
But we-
people who do that.
Yeah, and I did look into a few vendors that do personalized cards, and so yeah, we're working on it. Of course, we have to work on the design and pick that out. But I'm sure
So
that's
did we already secure the location?
Hey,
Reserve
we're
The
gonna do
the
it
Pepe
there at
Salinas.
the Pepe
Pepe
Salinas.
But
Salinas.
is it
Did we
available?
secure it?
Oh, the date. You were gonna look into the.
we have not secured
So I
the
think
location.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
need to
so I just wanted to kind of bring this up and talk about it, and we can.
gonna do this or?
No, because it's within our activities. So the events committee is, and we want to thank the events committee for meeting up with them, providing this service during the year. We don't need a motion because these are events that are occurring, and it's not something that we're taking action on. It's something that's a requirement as far as fundraiser. But I do appreciate the events committee. They're our great committee that is helping us out, meeting our basic, fundamentals of what we're doing in the chamber. So everybody on the events committee, thank you so much.
So this is one of the events. I'm moving on to the second event. So this would be the first year that we will host an annual chamber gala, since we came back in operations after COVID. And this is another event that it's definitely necessary for the chamber. It's a great opportunity to recognize our members, our champions, and our board, and really, put a spotlight on our organization and everything we have accomplished during the year. This is also one of our fundraising events. Of course, we will have sponsorship opportunities, and we were thinking that we would do a live auction. And so we do ask, you guys, our board, to help out if you have any, suggestions on who can donate items or where we can reach out to, or which organizations are willing to donate any live auction items. That would be great. This event is happening November 10th. We already secured the date and the location, and so we're working on that at the moment, generating the
Yeah,
invitation and
Count me in for a
and the
live
agenda.
auction item, and I think I can give you a couple of names of people I know donate. So
Excellent. Thank you. And then last but not least is the Prayers Mary Luncheon. So this event we've done consecutively for about 5 years now. It is a very popular event. The mayor, Dr. Ambrosio Hernandez, is very involved with this event. So this is an event that we have yearly at the Pep Salinas Civic Center now, and we want to continue having it. It's a very popular, it's a community event, and so this is going to be another one of our big fundraiser events. And it includes sponsorship opportunities. So as of now, this is the feedback that I received from our meeting with the events committee. And so these are the 3 events that will be our biggest fundraising events for the year. Of course, we will continue to have community events. We will continue to host our market days. We will have our legislative update sessions, luncheons, mixers, but these are the biggest fundraising events for the chamber. We do have space for maybe another one more during the year, so we can space them out. But I think for now we we have set a good schedule.
Maybe next year,
Hey, relax,
just
bro.
be-
Relax. Let's just do this for now. Just kidding.
So I think we're on a good track now. We did mention maybe collaborating with the city of Pharr on other events that we have hosted in the past, such as the Winter Texan Golf Tournament. It's not a big fundraising event for us. It's more of a community event and volunteering event for us. So we have that and the Hubfest Cook-Off and just a few events like that. The Miss Pharr Scholarship Pageant as well, that we might be able to collaborate with the city and maybe work more in partnership with them. And that is it for our update for our events committee meeting. And moving on, I'm going to have Ms. Eloina Gonzalez come back up to the podium and just share with you a bit of her experience in the ACCE convention. She attended last week and a few things that she learned.
So I attended the ACC convention last week, the July 26th to the 29th. And not only Texas Chambers went to this convention, but it was chambers from all over the United States, all over the country. So there were some interesting workshops that I attended, and I did want to talk about memberships, ambassadors, and workshops today. Just something really quick that I wanted to let you guys know that what I learned, it's just a simple formula on assessing value for the members. So it's just very important to categorize every business that's in our chamber. Because every business, we need to adjust and cater to their needs. We can't compare a small business to a corporate business because everyone needs a different marketing strategy and what they need from us. So what I will implement and continue implementing is just a different approach to attain member acquisition. As you can see, the prospecting audiences, there's different businesses under 4 different categories, depending on number of employees. So as you can see, what they mostly want from the chamber, they mostly all want the same thing, but it's just a different approach. So it's really important for the chamber to just cater to their needs and their wants. So I just wanted to share that with you, that we will continue to implement this. Now, with Grow with Google workshop, this is a collaboration that I will be working on with other chambers, Alamo Chamber of Commerce, Edinburgh Chamber, and Mission Chamber. It was very exciting to meet Ms. Maria Elena Duron. She's a Grow with Google partner, and she's a representative for this program, and this is very beneficial for our members to learn the importance of how to grow their business, how to brand, how to market. Google is a popular source and search engine where everyone goes and looks out for what they need. So several small businesses, nowadays they don't have, the tools on how to get their keywords or for their business to come out on Google and for them to get more clients. So it is very important for us small businesses to learn more about the search engine optimization. So she's able to come down to RGV and do this great collaboration with other chambers. We have not set a date yet, but we're looking forward to it. We're working really hard. And this is the first time we're excited that she's going to come down here and do this workshop, several series of workshops to offer this great benefit to our sister cities and to our chamber members. That way they can get more exposure and help them with their branding through Google. And last but not least, ambassadors. Ambassadors are very important to our chamber, and they're an extension of our chamber, and they enhance our organization. So what I want to do is revisit the chamber program that the chamber used to offer and keep a point system. That way we can keep them engaged. And also another thing that I learned from other chambers is that they have business cards. So we can be able to provide business cards to our ambassadors. They're always networking out on events. They have a QR code there where a membership packet, they can open it up on the internet, a PDF form. That way they can attract businesses to our chamber. So it's very beneficial for the ambassadors to have this, and I want to implement this point system so they can be more engaged and give them a reward at the end of every month, and also have like an ambassador, a member of the month. And that's about it.
Thank you, Eloina. And I guess just to further elaborate on the Grow with Google workshop, this is a really great opportunity. As Eloina was explaining to me how, she met with this representative from Google at the convention. We've never had something like this here. We've never had a workshop, from guided by a partner of Google. I think it's very important for businesses to understand the power of search engine optimization, keywords of how your website comes up on the Google landing page, and what to do in order to optimize that space on the Google landing page. I mean, nowadays, you have a craving for a fruit cup, and the first thing you do is go to Google and type in fruit cup. And so it's going to show you every single location that offers fruit cups near you. So that is done through SEOs and search engine optimizations, keywords, and everything. So this lady, Ms. Duron, this representative from Google, will be able to come down, do a series of either trainings or workshops, so just one luncheon where she's able to provide all the information on how to optimize Google to your advantage and how to use it as a tool for your business. Now, there are a lot of technical terms with Google. Maybe a lot of businesses don't know that they can utilize YouTube and the video aspect, and how to keep your information up to date so that you're easily found on Google. So I think it's a very good opportunity and a good resource. And so we're working on setting that date so that we can bring this series of workshops here too.
What is the expense associated with it?
So she does it just as part of her program. So the Grow with Google, that is a program that Google has where they send out representatives to different cities. So it's a Grow with Google program.
So does Google pay for her expenses to be here?
Mm-hmm. They do. And so we just have to host them and, get the word out and get the businesses to come in and attend.
Avocados.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. They'll be our sponsor.
Next year.
Yeah, and now regarding the champion or the ambassador program, I think one of the really good idea that we want to implement is do that business card idea, right? To give our ambassadors or our champions a business card and include a QR code with a link to our membership package so that it's easily found, and if they're out networking, they can just give their business card. It has their information as well as our information. So, it's a win-win for both of us. And it's part of the networking experience. And so once we already have our website up and everything implemented within our chamber software, then we can include the digital aspect of our membership packet instead of just having, the paper booklet that we have at the moment. Okay, and then moving on to past and upcoming events, I really wanted to do a highlight or spot highlight on the event that we just had last weekend. It was the Back to the Future Festival. This is the first time that we host this festival here. It was a community event held in downtown Pharr at the Hub Food Truck Park. This was an event themed around the 80s and 90s era. We had a lot of different activities. We had a lot of foot traffic as well. Up to 1,000 people showed up. We offered arcade games. We had a costume contest. We had our market, so we had a lot of vendors out there, up to, I believe, 30, 35 vendors. And we had a car show. So we had Mr. Rios show up. He had a few of his cars there, and he won, so congratulations. They were very popular.
That's his
I can already hear, like, oh, we
That's his camera.
I just came for fun.
We were not involved in the judging, I do want to clarify.
Wait a minute.
But they were great cars.
You won't play in the loteria.
He had a lot of people surrounding his cars, and we received positive feedback overall from the community and from people attending. Everybody had a really fun time dressing up. We also had a 360 camera taking pictures, and everybody that was in costume was taking videos. It's not pictures, it's videos, so it's that camera that goes around and you get to do a dance or something, pose. So yeah, it was overall very successful. We definitely hope to have it again next year and maybe increase the reach. Also, we had a live band. It was an 80s kind of rock band. So yeah, overall it was very successful, and we received really positive feedback. So we hope to continue it next year.
I just want to say good job. You guys did a phenomenal job with the Parks and Recreation Department. They
Yes,
had it down to the T. I mean, there was really no mishaps. Eloina, I know you were there. So congratulations to both of you and running a very good. My kids, 3 and 7-year-old, they had a blast. I didn't see them all day night long because they were enjoying all the booze and
I don't think you can say that.
they had well my wife there was my wife.
You didn't see 'em.
Fortunately there's guardians all over, but congratulations, it was a really fun event.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning it. Huge, huge, huge thanks to the Parks and Recreation Department. We did this in collaboration with them, and so
What was
the city has
turnout,
been in it.
you know?
It's 1,000.
Yeah, over 1,000
Over
people.
1,000 people.
Over 1,000 people. That's good for
pretty
a
good.
first event.
Yeah.
Tell you what, that's why I'm hats off to you guys and the city also, man. That's great.
That's gonna be our loteria.
Yeah, but we don't.
No, 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 no.
We do
Don't
not
mess with
have
my
a place.
loteria. Don't mess
We
with
don't
my
have a
loteria.
place that holds 1,000 people.
So yes, and then moving on to our upcoming events, we are having the city of Pharr is hosting the Pharr Night Out event. I understand it's a national event, but we're participating and giving out crayons and school supplies to the kids in the community in Pharr. I know the city is offering up to 2,500, I believe, backpacks to kids in the city, within the city. And we're also going to be giving out a lot more school supplies. So this is a very big event. It's at the Aquatic Center, and that's tonight, actually, from 5 to 10 p.m. We're also hosting a ribbon cutting ceremony for a new boutique. It's C'est La Vie Boutique and Spa. This is going to be on August 10th at 11:30, and this is on Olana. So this is a plaza that is close to Plaza Sports Center and the new Pharr One building on Olana. They're opening up this boutique and spa, and so we invite the community to attend this grand opening. Furthermore, we'll be hosting the August Market Days. This is part of the monthly market that we've been doing for the past year. It's going to be August 13th from 6 to 10 p.m. This is back to school themed, so a lot of our vendors are focused on back to school items or any items that are relevant to school and education. And last but not least, we'll be hosting a ribbon cutting for Private Event Center. This is going to be August 17th at 11:30 a.m. This is a smaller event center, so this is kind of like a more cozy and smaller event center for, up to 50 people, I believe, 50 to 75. It's located on the plaza right there off of 83, where the Bridge Bar and Grill is at, by the water tower in Pharr. And so, we invite everybody to come out and check it out. It's a really nice, a small event center, very, private and cozy. And that is going to be it for me.
Excellent.
President's
And just want to make sure that we thank all our board members that have been attending all these different events. And also want to thank Ms. Sonia Falcon for hosting our strategic workshop, for allowing us to go to our location with Lone Star National Bank, and thanking them for hosting us, and so that we can continue on and better our services. With that said, we are now going into closed session. We have nothing in closed session. We are reconvening on number 5. We have nothing on reconvening for number 5. And with that, we'd like to hopefully, at this time, make sure that we set up a membership committee. And I know there's a lot of people that are willing to participate.
Why don't we ask now who would like to serve?
That was one thing that, thank you. That was so we would like to have the people that are interested. I know Mr. Alex has done this in the past. So if he would like to go ahead and head that, we'll do that. And I know Ms. Sonia Falcone and Dr. Palomo are heading our events. And I know they're doing a great job. And we're going to just bring back Mr. John Rodriguez, and he is taking over our ambassador program. So we're doing wonderful. I think with that, we're going to make sure that If there's an event committee, that they'll notify the committee and Mr. Rios if you want to set up a meeting so we can go ahead and start working on that. Thank you, each and every one of you in the city of Pharr, for helping us with everything and supporting us. If there isn't anything else, any other comments, Dr. Palomo? We'll make sure to post Dr. Palomo's event tomorrow so that we can go ahead and spread the word out, so we can all hopefully go out there, show our support, and show up with her on that day. So if there's anything else, do I hear a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Make a motion.
There's a motion and a second at the same time. So by Mr. Rios and a second by Mr. Rodriguez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned at 12:51 p.m. Thank you so much.